Hello everyone and welcome to SCED1000. This semester we're going to use the 3DGameLab in order for you to complete this course. So what you're going to do is play a game the entire semester. You have to earn a certain number of points in order to get an S in the course, which is, this course is S or U, so in order to get a satisfactory you have to earn a certain number of points, and those points are listed on the syllabus, so be sure and look on that to see what your goals should be. There will be different ranks or levels that you'll make as you go throughout the semester. There will also be rewards that you'll get that will give you extra points, and so you can look at those by clicking on rewards here. But first let me just show you about the quests. There are several listed in your quests. Some of them will not be available to you until you complete other quests, which is part of gaming in general, and that is you have to master one area in order to move on to another area. There's not very much of that in this course, but there's also a lot of choice, so you can do things in any order that you want to for the most part. There are some things that you cannot do until you've mastered another area. So for example, I can tell from this screen by the shading which quests are available. You can see them, or you can see most of the quests, not all of them, but you can see most of them, but you can't do all of them. So this Blackboard Instant Messenger one, I can click on it and learn a little bit about it, but I cannot do anything with it. So let me look on this Create Portfolio in Live Text. If I click there, okay, now I have the details, and also I can start the quest. So if I click on Start Quest, I can do what it says. So I'm going to purchase live text, and then I'm going to email Dr. Schumacher if I had any questions. I'm going to watch this video, do what it says, and then it says type completed and submit. So when I'm complete, I'm going to hit complete, and this will allow me to submit. So here I can type something in the box if I needed to, if that were what it asked me to do. I could also add an attachment here. I could browse and add a particular file. Now sometimes you will be asked to put some information in this box, and sometimes you'll be asked to attach items and files. And most of the time you'll be attaching a file. Okay, so that's how you complete different quests. So that's all you need to do. You'll complete all of your quests in the 3DGameLab portal. You won't do anything in Blackboard. I will use Blackboard to send announcements to you. This is a large class, so it'll be easier for me to send announcements that way. I can also send announcements through the 3DGameLab. So you want to be sure that you bookmark the link to the 3DGameLab so you can get to it pretty easily. For the most part, you won't need Blackboard for this particular course. So if you have any questions, let me know. I will point out to you before we quit this video that we have some average times that are built in, and also the experience points, or XPs here. The average time tells you sometimes there's not enough information to give an average time, but that will begin changing. So for example, this one takes on average 22 minutes for students to do. That gives you a good idea. If you've got a little bit of time, then you can easily work on that. Here's something that takes 10 minutes down here. So if you've got 10 or 15 minutes, you might want to work on that. Some of these others that take more time, you're obviously going to want to have a little more of a chunk of time to work on those. So that'll help you there. Now the experience points will also help you if you're trying to make a particular rank, or you're trying to get to those points that are required for you to get an S in the course. You may want to do the ones that require the most points first. Knock those out first. Or you may wish to do the easy ones that don't get you as many points first. It's just up to you, the strategy that you use, as long as you get the required number of points by the deadline. Now, if you were to do a quest and that quest requires that I approve it before you can move on, and you don't have any other quests to do, you're welcome to email me, and if my time schedule will allow, I'll stop what I'm doing and I'll go in and look at your quest and I'll either approve it if you did it correctly, or I'll reject it if you didn't. And when I reject something, which does happen, so don't worry about it, but when I reject one, I tell you what you did wrong and what you need to change, and then you can redo it. So basically you have to keep doing it over and over and over again until you get it right, because you can't move forward until you get that quest right. You won't be able to complete the course and get the required number of points unless you do the quest correctly. So you want to read your directions very carefully. And it's just a waste of your time if you're submitting things that are not correct. So be sure and read those directions very carefully. And again, email me if you get stuck and there's nothing else you can do and you would like for me to approve a quest, and I'll do it if at all possible. Now that brings up another point, and that is if you wait to do all these quests to the end of the semester, then you're going to be relying on me to be on your time frame, which of course probably isn't going to happen. So I will be approving quests constantly and approving and rejecting, sending them back, and that sort of thing. We're looking at the 3DGameLab very often, every day, several times a day, and so probably I'm going to be enough on your time schedule that it won't be a problem. But I don't want you to wait to the last minute, because I will not be able to sit in front of the computer and only approve or reject quests during the last week of the course. So you want to make sure that you're not down to the wire on that. And also realize that if you send some quest in and I haven't gotten to it and the deadline passes and that quest is rejected because you didn't do it right, then you're not going to get an S in the course. And that will be your fault because you waited to the last minute. So just make sure you're not waiting to the last minute. I don't think any of y'all will do this, because this is a really easy game, really easy quests for the most part, and most people get done early. And so I'm just making that caveat and that warning just in case, even though most people don't wait till the last minute. So go ahead and knock this stuff out at the beginning of the semester if you can, while your other classes are not quite as time consuming, and that way you'll have an easier time as semester goes on. Now you should expect in a 1-hour course, a 1-hour undergraduate course, you should expect to spend about 3 hours per week on the course in order to get it done. So it'd be I would estimate anywhere from 1 to 3 hours a week, depending on your technological skill level initially. So you can do it in less time or more time. So be sure and work on this quite often and get those quests done, and let me know if you have any questions.